what's up and why, bringing you the bright side of life one fun moment at a time. Brought to you by the New Thought Media Network. Please put your hands together for your hosts, Rev Casey Taylor and Miss B Lovely.
Yay, clap for us, clap for us. Welcome to What's Up and Why, taking the emphasis on the off of the heavy of the world and emphasizing on the light and fun. We are bringing you the bright side of life, one fun moment at a time. My name is Reverend Casey Taylor.
Hey, and I am B Lovely. Thank you for joining us for another fun week. I feel so great today. I don't know why. I just have all this positivity. How you be today, Rev Casey Taylor?
I love that for you. I absolutely do too. I had a surprise, I would say surprise coffee. Somebody in one of the Facebook groups that I'm in posted that they were just looking for new people to hang out with, and my intuition was like, reach out to this person, and we did. And so we vibed in all kinds of ways. So I was grateful. My intuition did not send me off for this coffee this morning, and I've got a work from home day, and usually me and work from home days aren't necessarily I need to be out in the world and be peopling, but in January, like I said in the last episode, I'm still wintering, and so it just feels really cozy to have my sugar cookie sleigh ride tea for our episode titled Sugar Sweets. And just feel cozy in the winter. And I love you got your turtleneck looking cozy yourself.
I'm so cozy. I'm just hearing Cozy by Beyonce from the Renaissance album playing in my head.
I heard it when you said it. Yep.
That coffee sounds delicious. I will give it up to you. A skill that I really wish that I had, that I feel like you master and a lot of people master, just being comfortable and being able to go up and, you say you saw somebody who just randomly said oh, want to go get coffee and stuff. And you just went and did it and this was somebody you didn't know, right?
Yep.
See me, it takes me time to warm up to people and stuff. It takes me a little bit of time to get comfortable with that. Whereas with you, it's you're a little social butterfly, just can make conversation and vibe with just anybody. I want to have that type of talent.
I wanted to have that type of talent too. I was not born this way. It started with stepping
I
out
can't tell.
It was stepping out of my comfort zone. And the person who I met with this morning talked about what a big deal it was for her to post that to begin with, that it was stepping out of her comfort zone to be on a Facebook group and say, hey, I would really love to meet some people. I'm going through this in my life, and I was going through something similar. So I was like, okay. And when we met, I didn't realize just how similar it was. The timing of our incidents lined up perfectly. There was just this synchronicity associated with all of it. And to your point, when we operate from a place of fear, when we're worried, that we block our blessings, right? But letting our intuition will tell us who is for us and who is not. And that's been a whole journey for me, recognizing the difference between my inner shit talker and my inner wisdom, a whole journey.
That's something that I was really focusing on in 2025. Well, I wouldn't really say focusing on. It's just something that was very apparent to me. I kept finding myself in these situations. I'm like, okay, there's something that I need to learn from this. And one of the many lessons I learned was listening to that gut feeling, trusting your instincts, because it's literally there to protect you and to save your life. And the more that I started listening and trusting that voice spirit, as some would say, I see it as the Holy Spirit that is guiding me. I feel like things have just really, really changed, and taking the leap of faith. When I told you, I was applying for that program to go overseas to study international politics, that was taking a leap of faith, because I was like, oh, I don't know if I would get it. But it's being able to say, what I told myself was, I'm either going to do it ready or do it afraid, but you're going to do it. So being able to step out and take that leap of faith, and even though you don't know where you're going to land, it could take you on a different, a more positive side than where you are now.
I love how you buried the lead to say that you didn't even bury it. You didn't even say it. You got into the program. So
I've never been one to toot my own horn. And it's I just saw this little post from Tyler, the Creator, this rapper. He was talking about how he rejects the notion of being humble and really locking in and owning the fact that he is awesome and that he has talents. But I think it comes from like a lot of trauma from being raised in the South and those Southern mannerisms. Like you're not, it's kind of seen as negative to like, brag on yourself to be like, oh yeah, I really am, doing good things. You're always supposed to be humble and pass the buck off to somebody else and stuff, to be polite. And that's something I've been trying to unlearn.
I absolutely hear that. Shout out to you for unlearning it. The concept of humility, I think in this culture, it's been misconstrued for the purposes of making other people comfortable. Where what to me, what humility actually means is not operating from a place of arrogance. And there's that fine line between commending yourself for your growth and for getting into international programs versus thinking of yourself as all the way up here and somebody else being down there, or getting to a place where you're an expert in your field but then nobody can tell you nothing. That to me, humility is coming from a beginner's mind of not operating
Mhm.
from being an expert means I know everything. It
Yes.
means that I know what I know, and I'm always open to learn, and I can recognize that I can learn from anybody. Somebody
Yes.
who has had 30 seconds in whatever, kind of modality that we're talking about, or, somebody who doesn't know anything from anything, but to trust and know that we all have access to wisdom. We all get to celebrate ourselves for
Yes.
our accomplishments and meeting our goals. And I think it's really just been misconstrued for the purposes of tearing each other down.
Mhm. Yes. But talking about, cheering on accomplishments, the NAACP announced its annual Image Awards nominees. Did you I don't know. I feel like I already know the answer to this, but the
You can
face
tell
you're
from my
making,
face. I know what the question is, and you do know the answer.
it's a no or is it a hell no?
I mean, my TV is off. I'm not spending a lot of wintering for me has really meant me time, me and my cup of tea,
Mhm.
relaxing with my journal. Every once in a while, I go out with somebody, like coffee this morning. Last night, I went out to a big coffee meeting, and it was filled with people I love. So just
Mhm.
I'm in the right spaces, but nobody's talking about the NAACP Image Awards in the streets of Oklahoma. That's just
Okay,
not.
well, we should. Okay,
We
people talk
should.
about
I
the
agree. I
Oscars, the
agree.
Golden Globes, so we're going to talk about the NAACP Image
Yes.
Awards for a little bit. Okay,
Hmm.
so the nominees,
Put me on.
the nominees have been announced this year. The top award, Entertainer of the Year. Here are the nominees. We have Miss Cynthia Erivo. Wait,
Yes.
or does Cynthia go by they them pronouns?
Cynthia does use they them pronouns. Yes,
Okay,
yes.
look at me checking myself before
Look
I wreck
at
myself.
you. Yes,
Because we respect pronouns over here,
yes, we
okay?
do.
Doechii, Kendrick Lamar, Michael B. Jordan, Tiana Taylor. They are nominated for Entertainer of the Year. And I just want to say, Tiana Taylor is having quite a year because she just won Best Supporting Actress at the Golden Globes for One Battle After Another with Leonardo DiCaprio. I tried to start that movie, but sleep got the best of me.
Things like that.
Yes, but outstanding comedy series, Abbott Elementary, Harlem, love Harlem Down, Survival of the Thickest, Gigi loves that, The Residents and the Upshaws. The Residents was a really good show, and I'm sad that it got canceled after one season.
I didn't see it. I don't even know the residents.
Oh, it's a really good who done it. It's like
Oh, yes,
the
I
game
did.
crew.
With
You
with
did at the
with
White House.
Uzo Udubo was in it. Yep, she's like
Yes.
this quirky bird watcher.
I
Yeah,
love her. Her range is amazing.
that was a Shonda Rhimes show. Yes, yes.
Yes. What'd you think of it?
Honestly, like I'm not into procedurals. But despite the fact that I'm not into procedurals, I love how quirky it was. Like, me mentioning
Mhm.
her being a bird watcher. The fact, like they
And there
name
was
a
lessons in
character.
it too.
It sure was. But I mean, name another character on all of television that was a bird watcher. Like it's such a specific kind of quality to have, and it was interesting, unique. That was honestly like I didn't care nothing about the murder, but like the way
Mhm.
the way that Uzo Udubo would like she didn't care about what was going around her. She was like, I'm focused on trying to see this bird.
Hmm.
Everybody, leave me alone so I can be in this treehouse looking for my birds. I had mad respect for the boss level energy, and it was about her not just like a commitment, but her love for bird life.
Hmm.
And I thought it was so cool.
Yeah, she was really cool, and she's also nominated for outstanding actress in a comedy series, as well as Maya Rudolph, Ayo Adir. I do not want to mess up her name, Edibiri, and Quinta Brunson for Abbott Elementary. She's always a good time in that. One of the things that really stood out for me was that Michael B. Jordan is up for outstanding male actor, and I'm just supporting Michael B. Jordan all throughout this award season because his performance in Sinners. I have seen Sinners an ungodly amount of times. But we there's some really really good nominations here, and I'm just really happy that there are awards like the NAACP Image Awards that really recognizes the talent of color, the
Well,
not
it's
just
black
in
folks. That's just it's
Mhm.
primarily black folks, and we talked
Primarily
about
black,
this.
but they also, other, groups within, but it is
Justin
primarily
Timberlake
black.
got nominated a bunch of times back in the day.
Well, Justin Timberlake is not nominated this time around,
I bet he
okay?
is.
Reasonable Doubt is there. Emma Yahtzee. Oh my gosh, I love Emma Yahtzee and Reasonable Doubt. That is one of my favorite shows. And when I found out that Kerry Washington was a producer, and I'm like, it makes sense. She's a really great storyteller.
I appreciate you putting me on. I've watched a single episode of Reasonable Doubt. 'Cause like I said, procedurals, not my thing, but I'll check it
It's
out.
very interesting. I think you would like it. It has some season one. I think you should probably start at season two because season
Okay,
one is pretty dark.
heard, heard.
Hmm.
Lighter
So
side of life, one fun moment at a time, right here. Yeah,
exactly. So congratulations to all of the nominees for the NAACP Image Awards. That's going to be handed out in February, and I'm just excited to see what's going to happen next. But as we continue to go through the program, we're going to go into our next section of the Do Better Blues. Something that I don't know, have you been on social media recently, like in the interwebs and seeing? No? Okay, so there was a big thing that was happening on Threads on Instagram. There was this very popular Instagram couple. Her name is it Kristen? Kristen and Desmond, like they're really famous on Instagram because she's always like doing goofy things and like surprising her husband and stuff. So like their relationship has been very, very open on Instagram and stuff, and they had just like built this big house together in LA and stuff. And then she came online and announced that they were divorcing because of infidelity. And then everybody was then like just basically throwing stones at them, saying, see, this is why you can't be trusting what you see on the internet. And basically, people started coming after the woman and saying, like, it's your fault because you did too much. You was doing too much for attention and validation on Instagram instead of tending to your marriage. And I just want to say, like, what makes any of us better than somebody else? I just think about how I would never want to be in a situation like that where I have all of these people putting their opinions on something personal that's happening in my life, something that's very painful. They were high school sweethearts, have been together since they were 15 years old, have two young kids. So I can just only imagine that this person, both of them are going through a very, very tough time. But instead of showing empathy and respect and just moving on and not saying anything at all, if you don't have something nice to say, there was a lot of people in the comments just basically rubbing salt in the wounds. Like when you look in the comments, you just see people basically saying like the woman deserved it and everything. And I just don't understand how we as a society, I'm not going to say as a society because there are good people and then there are people who like to throw stones. Why do some people think that it's okay just because you're behind a computer screen that you could just say the most audacious, disgusting, cruel thing ever? Like, would you say that to somebody's face? And even if you would say that to somebody's face, why? That's something I really just can't understand. Like, people who really go out of their way to hurt people, to bring people down, to rub salt in wounds, and instead of showing empathy and sympathy, just want to make somebody feel bad. But it also makes me think hurt people hurt people. When you are happy, you want to sow seeds of joy because you have that joy inside of you that you want, you know, other people to feel. When you are sad, not in a good place, hurting, you want other people to hurt. You don't want to see other people, being joyful and everything. And I just implore more people to sow more seeds of joy, because you reap what you sow. Wouldn't you want to reap more positive things than reaping more negative things?
Our introduction today, sugar and spice, and or a description of sugar and spice
Mhm.
and everything nice. These are the ingredients for a perfect society. But what happens when the world is infiltrated by chemical X? I love the reference from the Powerpuff Girls, and
Yeah.
what you're talking about is like, it goes back to what we said about humility, where to me that's what humility is about. People not thinking, recognizing, seeing yourself as above someone else, or telling someone what you think they should do, instead of focusing on yourself and your own journey, and recognizing that's all you have power over. That in this particular context, what chemical X is feeling like to me is the internet, where in our in our analog world, our pre-digital world, that we didn't have this opportunity. We didn't have an opportunity to connect. So that's the value. I met this random person today from a connection on Facebook. So like, hooray to the internet, but the internet's got this dark side, where somebody who sounds like this couple that you're talking about were really utilizing it as a way to lean into the positive life, one fun moment at a time, through the internet, and people came for them, possibly because they didn't lean into the dark side of things as well. That whole, what you said, of people coming at them. So yeah, yes, for people hurt people. And also, when we do this, focus on the bright side of life, one fun moment at a time, but kind of deny the existence of the shadow, of saying that what it means to focus on brightness means that we are ignoring all of the shadow side. People feel really betrayed, like, y'all, we're going through things, and you were lying to me. I was a fan of yours. I was following you, and
But we're
watching.
human.
It
We're
is, but
human.
people feel like they're betrayed, and so I'm not saying, I'm not blaming this person in any kind of way, but I am also saying that as online content creators, the relationship that you're building with our audience, that if we are denying the darkness, pretending it, sweeping it under the rug, it's the fans feel really betrayed, because it's like, you were showing me this side, but you were hiding this in the dark, instead of speaking to what your healing practices look like, what, the challenges that you're facing. And I think, whether it's online or whether in real life, whenever we hide our shadows, we're not doing anybody, we're not helping ourselves. They perpetuate in really destructive ways when we don't
Yeah.
see them. And the people who love us, or the people, whether they're fans or whether they're people who know you, that when we hide these things from each other, the people who thought they knew us feel really betrayed. And so that hurt that you're talking about, is that feeling of betrayal. It doesn't justify the actions, it
Yeah.
just explains where it's coming from.
But what's the resolution for all
Mm.
of this? Like, I was always raised, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. When I see stuff online that I find distasteful, or that I really don't like, or that really gets me upset, I first of all, I think, wait a minute, is this from a bot farm? Is this rage bait? Because those are things that are very, very active and real. There are accounts that are being made just to do rage bait, and that is like creating content to stir up negative emotions to get more engagement from people. And then I think, you know what? There's better things I could be doing with my time, and just keep on going, or put the digital device down. And I think you are right. I think that the internet is the chemical X in society right now, because the hatred has always been there in society. Let's just put that out there. The negativity, the meanness, the hatred has always been there. But I just think like the internet gives people more access to it, and they're more prone to it than how we were in the past. Because like in the analog era, you wasn't surrounded by, all this, digital voices and everything. Like you could turn stuff off and like go and be in solitude and stuff. But it's literally everywhere around us. Like even refrigerators are being connected to the internet now.
And to your point, we didn't say these things to people's faces.
Yeah.
So But because that's what it is. You wouldn't. It's a lot easier to be a bully behind a keyboard when as a faceless person than tell somebody to their face to be mean to somebody's face.
Mm. Well, on that note, as we tell people to do better, who are you giving reverence to who is doing better?
Yes, I want to give a shout out, give reverence to our producer Clarissa, who just got back today. She was on a month-long trip, and this more when we connected, the fact that she's with us 10 a.m. Pacific, when she's in town doing her thing, she shared with us an experience that she's going through, and Be Lovely and I got an opportunity to give her some love and shower her with recognition for choosing to be vulnerable with us, that it isn't easy to be a vulnerable person in the world, especially as we're talking about in a world where people are talking mess online. And so she said something about how the that being a person in this world is the greatest form of protest that we can do, that we are not products, that we don't need to operate in the way that our capitalistic world tells us to be, but to be a true, genuine, vulnerable person is the strongest form of protest. And I love that concept. So I just gotta give her reverence for being that demonstration of the strongest form of protest by being a human in the world.
There's a lot of protests that's going on. What are you protesting?
Well, we were talking earlier about boycotts. Somebody posted David Bruner. I'm gonna shout him out. Reverend David Bruner
Well, I
posted.
thought you said Bruno Mars.
Oh, no,
Sorry.
Reverend David Bruner. I don't know exactly where he lives right now in
Yeah.
these days, but he asked this question of what are you boycotting last year, and he said that he was boycotting chaos, and I was like, ooh. And the way that he boycotts chaos is to sidestep it, not to have a conversation about it, not to be like, this is me avoiding chaos, but okay, I see this, and I'm gonna come right over here. And so since then, that's really what I've been on is being in line with my piece. What about you?
Mhm. Feeling the need to present myself as perfect online. Like I
Yeah.
have been using Instagram the way how it was originally meant to be used when it first came out when I was in college, and what was it, 2013, 2014? So I just like I don't want to keep on putting on this facade because like everything on Instagram, it just seems like you have to have this image of like everything is perfect, everything is curated, everything is luxurious, when that's really it's not really feasible long term if you're not extremely wealthy. And I don't want to put on this front to make it in, to be supporting a lifestyle of like, wealth and all this mass when in reality it's hard out here. We have people who, unable to pay for groceries, unable to pay for gas, unable to pay for housing, and all these companies that are, raising prices, but people are not able to survive and everything. So I'm like, I'm not going to support this fake lifestyle where it's going to make other people, feel even worse about, whatever type of situation that they're going in. So I'm just going back to the basics, staying away from the fake and just trying to keep it as real as I can be while being gentle to not only myself but the people around me.
Yes, I am here for it, here for it. And so what you're saying reminds me about the day one question of the Making Peace with Your Inner Shit Talker program. And I think we might have talked about this on the show before, but maybe it was a good year ago. So it's a good time to revisit it. And so I'm going to pose this question to you, Be Lovely. How do you identify the difference between your inner wisdom and your inner shit talker?
An inner wisdom and an inner shit talker. That's a really, really good question. I know for a fact that my inner shit talker likes to keep my foot on my neck. It likes to make me doubt myself. It likes to make me feel like I am less than and question myself. So I know that if it is a voice that is coming from a place of fear, uncertainty, um, and all that stuff, I'm like, okay, we're not going to pay attention to that. That's going to be a balloon. We're going to tie that up and just let that float away and disappear. But if it's a voice that feels confident, feel assured, and I know would take me to a place where I would be better than how I am now, that's the wisdom that God has given me. Godly wisdom, as I like to say, because I love to pray and ask God for wisdom.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And wouldn't the world be such a brighter place if more of us prayed for wisdom? I'm in a similar situation where control has been a long-standing challenge for me. And my inner shit talker is what drives me to control. I'm dealing with the problem. My inner shit talker is like, do it this way. Oh, you doing it wrong. Versus my inner wisdom guides me to make decisions like pray
Mhm.
about it, not being the one that feels like I need to fix everything, change everything, solve everything, but to recognize that every challenge is an invitation for me to deepen my relationship with my inner wisdom. And so that habit, developing that habit, has fully transformed my life. And asking myself this question, noticing the presence of my inner shit talker, taking my power back from those voices in my head that speak to me with, in the same way that internet trolls speak, of how I would never talk to another human being this way, but this is how I was talking to myself. I really wrote this 90-day program as a practice. I didn't realize it was a practice that was for me when I wrote it. It was what I said was practice I wished existed. But I felt like I developed a healthy relationship with my inner shit talker when I start wrote this program. But since it's been written and I've gone through it myself multiple times, it has only served and supported me better and stronger each way through.
I love that. I love that. And I really do love this question because as we move forward and like continue to go through this year, it's only January. I know it feels like it's already halfway through the year with everything that's going on, but try to differentiate if whatever voice that you're hearing in any situation that you're in, is it your inner shit talker that's talking to you, or is it your inner wisdom that's going to help you grow and get better? Because that inner shit talker is what prevents us from getting to the next level because it loves to instill fear, it loves to instill chaos, it loves to instill confusion. It wants us to be remain stuck in whatever it is that we're going through. You got to ignore the negativity, ignore the trolls, ignore the negativity, ignore the urge to want to bring people down and be mean because why would you want to do that when you could just spread light and positivity and be beautiful?
I absolutely hear that. The ignoring sometimes can be, I don't want to say a challenge, but like I don't want to pretend like
Yeah.
something doesn't exist. And so I again shout out to Clarissa. I said something earlier about witnessing what was happening. That's why the word is I chose making peace with your inner shit talker as opposed to silencing or banishing, because
Oh,
it's an
yeah.
internal battle, but when I can recognize or witness its presence, that's not giving it my power. It's seeing it, but not giving it my power. But it's not fighting it, telling it to be quiet or casting it away. It's just noticing, being present with it, and not letting it take my power from me.
I like that. I think that's a good way to end out on this sugar sweet episode.
Yes. Do you want to pray us out, or you want me to pray us out?
I can pray us out because you prayed us out
Okay.
last week.
Yeah.
So, however way you guys want to pray or you get yourself settled, let's just do this. And I'm just going to pray a prayer of protection, for comfort, and for peace. That as we move forward through this, I mean, from this episode and go back into the world, that we carry peace inside of our hearts and our mind, that we find ways to comfort ourselves and to find comfort and to give comfort to the people that is around us, even if it is a stranger, to lend a helping hand, to realize that we are all living in this experience for the first time together and that we're all just trying to figure it out one moment at a time. And that if you can give help or comfort or support to anyone, even if it is for yourself, to do that because we are human beings that thrive on love and that need nurture. So nurture yourself, nurture your neighbor, nurture your community as the best way that you can. And if you can only give 1%, that's okay. You don't have to try to burn yourself out. Be gentle with yourself. Amen.
Amen. Ashe. So good. That was beautiful. I love that
Thank you. Thank you.
prayer.
Thank you. Thank you guys for joining us for another episode of What's Up and Why. You can find us online at WUAW Show on all platforms. And we will see you guys again here next week, same time, same place. I'm Be Lovely.
And I'm Rev Casey Taylor. Have the best week ever.